What did we just witness? Tyson Fury defeats Francis Ngannou via split decision in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. I personally thought that Francis Ngannou won the fight by a couple of rounds. I gave him 5 rounds plus the knockdown. Look, I don't really like using the term robbery because it was a close fight, but I do think Ngannou nicked it. I would have been content if Ngannou won by split decision or he got a draw. Boxing is really in the mud after that awful decision. It's the darkest day for boxing fans and the brightest for MMA. Boy oh boy, was I wrong about my prediction. Francis Ngannou shocked the world. He sent seismic waves across the entire globe. Ngannou should be the new WBC heavyweight champion. The sight of that. Former MMA champion and the new boxing world champion. I said that Tyson Fury would toy with Francis Ngannou. Instead, Francis Ngannou toys with Tyson Fury and makes him his toy. What a man Ngannou is. He flipped the script and proved all the doubters wrong. What a bad man. He honestly holds that title. Much of the MMA world as well wrote him off. I think it's fair to say that boxing should never underestimate an MMA striker, especially a man that's come from all the trials and tribulations that Ngannou has and was at the top of his game in his own discipline. He was a phenomenal striker. So let's talk the fight. Fury from the off charged out like a bull in a china shop. He really pressed the offense in the first round and was just really reckless. He landed a few but didn't do much damage. Ngannou came back with a few of his own and really competed with him. I was just really surprised by Ngannou's form. He really stuck to tactics. His game plan seemed super composed and just didn't rush in recklessly. To be honest, I think this is something that Fury was just hoping for, so he could counter him on the way in. Ngannou was landing a super good jab to the body throughout the entire contest, something that Wilder was having amazing success with in their previous fights. So I think he took that and implemented that in his game plan. One thing I must say is Ngannou's footwork was superb. One thing that MMA fighters struggle with is the footwork. They don't really implement it in a boxing contest, not so far from what I've seen anyway. And Ngannou really put the footwork, the boxing traditional footwork, into play. What MMA fighters tend to do is they have this problem with keeping a really long stance and they then struggle to close the distance, whereas Ngannou really found it easy to find his distance with Fury. He really kept the distance well and went jab for jab with Tyson Fury. Would you believe? He even went southpaw to counter Fury when he went southpaw. Super impressive stuff from the man. Super impressed. Anyway, despite limited success in the first round, Fury just seemed to stick to tactics, the similar tactics that we saw in the first, in the second round. He was applying pressure, feinting, trying to hit him with the 1-2, but Ngannou just wasn't budging. He wasn't buying the feints either. Fury just seemed like he was struggling with his range, and then it really began to look like he was confused what to do with Francis Ngannou. He just looked lost, super lost. Ngannou is a big man, and for, one of the first few times, he had a man in there that could control the range and the distance and actually box with him. Fury and Ngannou are quite similar in dimensions. Their reach isn't too far, there isn't too much of a gap at all. They were both just battling away with each other's lead hand. It was intelligent stuff from Ngannou. Ngannou just maintained his composure, stuck on the back foot, and was looking for those counters. In the third round, this is where I think Fury should have started changing up the tactics. The stuff he was doing out there just wasn't working, but he just stayed persistent with it for some odd reason. I think this is where he should have started boxing and moving, but he paid the price. He went in for a jab, right hand over the top, jab, right hand over the top, and boom! Francis Ngannou counters him with a massive left hook. Fury hits the deck, and there's huge disbelief across his face. He's stunned. He's down. To me, it looked like he underestimated him. It looked like he could walk through him. He didn't respect Ngannou's power. He didn't expect to be hit like that, and he paid for it. Fury then just jabbed and moved and had better success in the middle rounds. But his jab and grab tactics weren't foolproof enough. Francis Ngannou was just too strong on the inside. And every single time Fury tried to clinch up, Ngannou just chucked him off of him with relative ease. Fury normally out-clinches, out-bigs fighters, but not this time. Ngannou's just too big and strong for that to happen, and he shut it all down. But when Fury decided to actually start jabbing and moving, boxing a bit on the back foot, Ngannou, you could tell, wasn't the boxer in there. He did start missing a little bit and did look a bit novice-y in moments. So for me, I think Fury did clear a lot of the middle rounds. Overall though, I think Ngannou landed the better eye-catching shots, the more powerful punches, which really shook Fury to the core of his boots. He even hurt Fury in the 8th round and made Fury look super desperate. He tried to hug for the remainder of the round, tried to survive. It was... I just didn't know what I was watching. It almost resembled a kid that just didn't want to go to nursery and was hugging their parent to death so they didn't have to go. But yeah, some fighter Francis Ngannou is. I really would have liked to have seen him beat away at Fury in that 3rd round. Go for broke. Try and get him out of there. At least then we wouldn't have this controversial decision. Boxing should be fair. The right man should have won. Francis Ngannou should have been the victor. But once again, we're let down by boxing. Fury just looked really sluggish in there. He didn't look like a man that just did a 12-week camp. He didn't look like a man that got wins against his former foes like Wilder and Klitschko. Has he just got old overnight? Has father time, has all the weight ballooning just caught up with him? Did he just underestimate Francis Ngannou? Who really knows? We'll only find out if we see Fury back in the boxing ring again. And let's hope that that Usyk fight still goes ahead. For me though, I think that fight has lost a lot of its appeal. Look, I'm not trying to give the man any excuses, but at the same time, I don't want to kick a man while he's down. Sometimes you can just have really off nights. In this respect, it was a stinker of a night, and Fury should be embarrassed. The rest of the heavyweight division probably looked at this fight and they're probably all just licking their lips. Ngannou was flawless. He really applied a great game plan and he really showed that he belonged in the boxing ring. Well done to the man, Mike Tyson, and the rest of the camp. I really hope he gets the rematch or other big fights in boxing or MMA. He showed that he could put up and shut up, and he shut me up for sure. But anyway, I really hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to drop a like, subscribe and comment, and I'll see you in the next one. Bash!